Hey everyone, this is Manly Badass Hero, and welcome to It Moves. It Moves is kind of a psychological horror game, where you play as a boy who gets lost in his nightmares. Bedtime. Bedtime is supposed to be a happy event for a tired child. For me, it was terrifying. While some children might complain about being put to bed before they have finished watching a film or playing their favorite video game, when I was a child, nighttime was something I truly fear. Somewhere in the back of my mind, it still is. This is me. Poster from a movie? Toys? Teddy. I always have bad experiences with teddy bears in these games. I cannot prove that what happened to me was objectively real, but I can swear that what I experienced was genuine horror. A fear which in my life, I'm glad to say, has never been equaled. I will relate it to you all now as best as I can. Make of it what you will. But I'll be glad to just get it off my chest. This is my father. These are my shoes. These are some flowers. And this is a wall. I can't remember exactly when it started, but my apprehension towards falling asleep seemed to correspond with my being moved into a room of my own. This is my mother. This is a bed. This is a poster of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton with a mustache. This is my brother's room. He told me yesterday to keep out of the room that we both had shared until then. I was 8 years old at the time, and until then I had shared a room quite happily with my older brother. As is perfectly understandable for a boy 5 years my senior, my brother eventually wished for a room of his own, and as a result, I was given the room at the back of the house. As my brother was given a new bed, I was given the bunk beds which we used to share, because bunk beds are awesome. While I was upset about sleeping on my own, I was excited at the thought of being able to sleep in the top bunk. See? I knew it. That's how it always is. Which seemed far more adventurous to me. Plus, when you're on the top bunk, if you play that game where the floor is hot lava, you always win. Alright, it's bedtime. Already? Yes, adults need their sleep, you see. You'll be sleeping alone for the first time. You excited? About sleeping alone? Yes, Mom. Now enjoy your horrible nightmares, honey. Good night. Good night. Maybe? So each chapter is a different dream, I'm gonna assume. So, first place is the setting of the Dark Crystal. And here is one of Jim Henson's puppets. He's just hanging out. He doesn't really care about us. This actually does look kind of like the Dark Crystal setting, you know, joke aside. No, except for the... Actually, no, that actually is pretty Jim Henson right there. Upon it some ragged cloth. soup that's most likely going to be used for me. You know, when they cook me. Stalking is such a strong word. I prefer to think of it more as intense research on one individual. By the way, your missing sock is under your bed with me. Just kidding. A cold, unwelcoming breeze comes from the bottom of the stairs, and it's really dark down there and totally spooky. But I don't care. The show must go on. Something shiny. I guess it's just a glitter of like water or something. I wonder if I can die in my dreams. Mushroom hat. My god, they killed Toad. And they devoured the rest of his body. And I'm next. What's to the left? Dead end. Things in this world seem to be more scared of me than I of them. Interesting. Try this one. And there we go. Anyone around the corner? Take that as yes. I'm kind of curious if something did follow me. No, it's just atmospheric noise. Is that? I just realized it's kind of a spider-like being. Spider of many faces. Not attacking me yet, though. Perhaps it just wanted a place in this world. Slowly trotting along. Oh. I think it changed its mind about attacking me. I think it's about to catch me. I think it ate me. Mom, I had a weird symbolic dream where I was chased by a giant faced spider. Mom, is that weird? I'm curious, if anything changed in this room? Doesn't seem like it. Mom, about that giant symbolic spider. Sweetie, what's wrong? I had a bad dream. Oh, that's too bad, sweetie. I'll be up in a minute, and we can eat breakfast together. Alright, hurry up. Go change your clothes, and I'll be right there. Dad, you're wearing your glasses in your sleep. You're gonna break him again. And so another day started. It was a day of little importance to our story. I won't bother you with the details. The one thing I remember is the most delicious bacon I ever tasted. A bacon so unusually delicious that you could say it was nightmarish. Is that even though I played with friends like I always did, I somehow still felt lonely. I didn't enter my new room until later that night. It was time to go to sleep again. I'm wondering if there's multiple endings or not. Maybe not. We'll see. Twitching my head like I'm in The Exorcist always gets me to sleep fast. This face looks pretty unhappy. But this one does look happy. Unhappy? Happy. Huh. I see. That one. There we go. Now, which one do I want to go out first? Fan. Ketchup recipe. No, it's a fire extinguisher. So far north. Somewhat of a dead end. Let's see. Oh, look, a jump scare. He's not leaving my screen. Just kinda hanging out. Hey, can you, wipe your smug grin off your face and, you know, get off my screen? I suppose not. I'm hoping you're not the Minotaur. Or the equivalent. Wanted poster. That'd just be awful. Yo! And a corp. I see shadow people. I'm going Sonic fast. And this face is not leaving my screen. It's like I'm playing a game of tag. With this guy in the red cloak. So I'm supposed to be finding him, or running for my life, or looking for an exit? I keep thinking this is an exit here. So that's... yeah, there's a shadow thing there. I'm not sure if they're a threat, but I really don't want to touch them and find out. Where am I going? This comes. Thou go. When you awaken from a deep sleep to something moving or stirring, it can take a few moments for you to truly understand what is happening. The fog of sleep hangs over your eyes and ears even when lucid. Something was moving. There was no doubt about that. At first, I wasn't sure what it was. Everything was dark, almost pitch black, but there was enough light creeping in from outside to outline that room. Two thoughts appeared in my mind, almost simultaneously. The first was that my parents were in bed, because the rest of the house lay both in darkness and silence. The second thought turned to the noise, a noise which had obviously woken me. The noise in the giant, evil-looking face, but you know. That was it. Bed sheets rustling in the dark and someone breathing. As if some disturbed sleeper was attempting to get all too comfortable in the bottom bunk. Brother? I lay there in disbelief, thinking that the noise was either my imagination, or perhaps just my pet cat finding somewhere comfortable to spend a night. Please be my pet cat. It was then that I noticed my door, shut as it had been as I'd fallen asleep. Perhaps my mum had checked in on me, and the cat had sneaked into my room then. Yes, that must have been it. I turned to face the wall, closing my eyes in the faint hope that I could fall back to sleep. For this to work, you have to actually put your covers over your head too, or the boogeyman can still get you. As I moved, the rustling noise from underneath me ceased. I thought that I must have disturbed my cat, but quickly I realized that the visitor in the bottom bunk was much less mundane than my pet trying to sleep, and much more sinister. No. As if alerted to and disgruntled by my presence, the disturbed sleeper began to toss and turn violently, like a child having a tantrum in their bed. No. I could hear the sheets twist and turn with increasing ferocity. Fear then gripped me, not like the subtle sense of unease I had experienced earlier, but now potent and terrifying. My heart raced as my eyes panicked. Scanning the almost impenetrable darkness, I let out a cry. As most young boys do, I instinctively shouted at my mother. I could hear something stir on the other side of the house. But as I began to breathe a sigh of relief that my parents were coming to save me, the bunk bed suddenly started to shake violently, as if gripped by an earthquake, scraping against the wall. I could hear the sheets below me thrashing around, as if tormented by malice. I did not want to jump down to safety, as I feared the thing in the bottom bunk would reach out and grab me, pulling me into the darkness. So I stayed there, white knuckles clenching my own blanket, like a shroud of protection. The wait seemed like an eternity. The morning sun banishes the darkness. What's wrong? Did you have a bad dream? I cried, and my mother consoled me. Tears of fear, followed by relief, streamed down my face. Yet, through all the horror and relief, I did not tell her why I was so upset. I could not explain it. But it was as though whatever had been in that bunk would return if I even so much as spoke of it. Whether that was the truth, I do not know, but as a child I felt as if that unseen menace remained close, listening. My mother lay in the empty bunk, promising to stay there until morning. I remember the next day wanting to go anywhere, be anywhere, but in that suffocating room. It was a Saturday, and I played outside, quite happily with my friends. I could not dare tell them of the deep symbolic dream I had, with the giant screamer face that forever stuck to my screen. And the labyrinth just seemed to go on, and there were shadow men there who had vague intentions of maybe making my day suddenly not so nice. Although our house was not large, we were lucky to have a long sloping garden in the back. We played there often, as much of it was overgrown and we could hide in the bushes. Climb in the huge sycamore tree, which towered above all else, and easily imagine ourselves in the throes of a grand adventure. As fun as it all was, occasionally my eye would turn to that small window in my room, ordinary, slight, and innocuous. But for me, that thin boundary was a looking glass into a strange, cold pocket of dread. Outside, the lush green surroundings of our garden filled with the smiling faces of my friends. Inside, the feeling of something in that room, watching me play, waiting for the night when I would be alone, eagerly filled with hate. It may sound strange to you, but by the time my parents ushered me back into that room for the night, I said nothing. I didn't protest. I didn't even make an excuse as to why I couldn't sleep there. I still felt that this thing would be enraged if I so much as spoke of it. Another night came. So that's it for part 1 of It Moves. So far I'm enjoying this game. It's got some kind of cool old school style writing, and it's certainly not a kind of puzzle, key puzzle, wandering around simulator that like a lot of these horror games have been becoming. It's got a pretty good pacing so far, and I really like it. Anyway, so thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for part 2 of It Moves.